The Young and the Restless reveals the tension that always awaits viewers with unexpected twists and complicated relationships between characters. This time, the story focuses on Summer, Phyllis, and Sharon, and an incident that is sure to have everyone's attention. An alarming piece of information from Chance forces Summer to face a truth she cannot ignore, while Phyllis and Sharon's wrong actions create endless chaos. Phyllis, who has always stood her ground and stood strong in the face of challenges, is now facing a situation she cannot control. Despite her efforts to hide it, her actions become increasingly shady, causing suspicion and anxiety for those around her. The relationship between Phyllis and Sharon, which was previously without much obvious tension, is now becoming complicated. Both women cannot escape the wrong choices, revealing the secrets they tried to hide. As the signs of trouble begin to appear, Phyllis and Sharon can't help but realize that they're sinking deeper into a quagmire from which they can't escape. But while Phyllis tries to salvage the situation, Sharon begins to suspect that she may have been taken advantage of. Can they go back to being friends, or will this betrayal create an irreparable rift? Alarming update: Summer faces the truth. Summer is going through a rough patch, and the news she receives from Chance complicates things. During a tense meeting, Chance provides Summer with alarming information, which he shares with Daniel. It all starts when a white van with no windows is spotted in the area where Phyllis was last seen. These suspicious signs not only implicate Phyllis, but also Sharon, who was also spotted in a nearby area before she disappeared. Summer couldn't help but feel a sense of anxiety rising inside her. All she knew was that something was seriously wrong, and things only became more uncertain as these strange events began to unfold. She couldn't help but feel scared, but she couldn't let herself wallow in this uncertainty. Chance's support, feeling uncertain and making a difficult decision in that difficult moment, Summer realized that she needed to lean on someone. Although she had always felt comforted by Kyle, this time she chose Chance as her confidant. Kyle and Summer still had a complicated relationship, with unresolved emotions, but this time, she decided to seek help from Chance. With his calm and composed demeanor, Chance proved to be a trustworthy friend in this moment of crisis. Summer would rather lean on Kyle for a shoulder to cry on, but now, she realizes that Chance may be the only one who can help her make sense of the situation. The information he provides may not answer all her questions, but it at least brings Summer closer to the truth. Summer's mind is in turmoil, but she understands that Chance's support is what she needs right now. The relationship between Summer, Chance, and Kyle, emotional conflicts. This choice of Summer's not only causes mixed emotions in her heart, but also highlights the tension between the characters. Kyle, who has always been there to comfort Summer, will now have to deal with Summer no longer relying on him as much as before. Although they still share a special bond, the presence of Chance as a companion may make Kyle feel insecure. The question is whether Chance can maintain this role without creating unwanted conflict between himself and Kyle, and whether Summer can continue to maintain her relationship with Kyle now that she has found a new source of comfort in Chance. Their relationship is at a critical crossroads, and the decisions Summer makes could change everything. Secrets uncovered, will it all be resolved? Although Summer has received support from Chance, she still can't shake the fear of the unknown. Phyllis and Sharon, people she once trusted, are now unpredictable characters in this story. Summer wonders if the information Chance provides is just part of a larger conspiracy she hasn't seen yet. And as things continue to develop, dark secrets from the past will continue to surface, causing new shocks for Summer and those around her. Meanwhile, Sharon and Phyllis are facing difficult decisions of their own. Can they clear things up before it's too late? Or will they continue to make the same mistakes they've made, damaging the relationships they've built? Kidnapper and Phyllis and Sharon's death run, a fight for survival. Tense and tricky situations always await viewers, especially when two strong characters, Phyllis and Sharon, are faced with an extremely dangerous situation. Kidnapped and imprisoned in an abandoned mental hospital, both Phyllis and Sharon realize that this is not just a fight for survival, but also a test of their mettle and mental strength. Both women must decide their own fate when faced with an inhuman kidnapper and the harsh, dangerous conditions that threaten their lives. Guess the kidnapper and his motives. This kidnapper, although cold and indifferent to Phyllis and Sharon's feelings, has a clear purpose in his actions. He did not see this as a personal attack on them, but simply as part of a dark game he was playing. To him, keeping Phyllis and Sharon captive was just a way to satisfy his sense of righteousness in an experiment he was conducting. The more Sharon and Phyllis realized that all their efforts to find a way out were futile. The kidnapper had no intention of letting them return to their families and loved ones. This only added to their fear and sense of hopelessness. Neither Phyllis nor Sharon could understand why he would want to do this, nor could they understand how cold-hearted he could be when he felt no mercy towards them. The first steps of survival locked in an abandoned mental hospital where no one can hear their cries for help. Phyllis and Sharon realize that they cannot count on help from the outside. Everything around them is dark and terrifying, with strange noises coming from the dark corners of the building. The two try to keep their spirits up and find a way to work together to deal with this terrible situation. But when faced with their captor and the challenges he poses, they gradually realize that this cooperation may not be enough to save them. Phyllis, always proactive and never backing down from difficulties, is the first to try to take control of the situation. She tries to use her wits and intelligence to attract the kidnapper's attention, hoping to find a way to escape this place. Sharon, though frightened and confused, tried to stay calm, but the tension and fear gradually rose within her. Neither of them wanted to fall prey to the kidnapper's game. Unforeseen mistakes. Although both Phyllis and Sharon were strong and intelligent women, they could not avoid making wrong decisions in this tense situation. Phyllis, while trying to find a way to control the situation, accidentally provoked the kidnapper, making him angry and ready to put them both in more danger. Sharon, despite trying to stay calm, could not help but feel hopeless. Negative emotions began to dominate her actions, and this made her lose focus on her escape plan. Little did they know that these mistakes would lead them closer to the trap that the kidnapper had set up all along. The abandoned mental hospital was more than just a place of detention, it was a maze of fear and terror, where every step they took could lead to their deaths. The kidnapper, with cold patience, watched their every move, and he knew that even the slightest mistake could lead Phyllis and Sharon to fall into his hands again. A state of panic and rising despair. As the days passed, Phyllis and Sharon gradually fell into a state of panic. The nightmares continued to haunt them, and every moment in the abandoned hospital felt like the final test. They felt the despair from within, but at the same time, they knew that if they did not act immediately, they would have no chance of escape. The feeling of panic increased as the kidnapper continued to up his game. He did not simply hold them captive, but also subjected them to dangerous experiments. The tests he required Phyllis and Sharon to pass only added to the tension. They know that another failure could mean the end for both of them. Every decision they make could mean life or death, and there is no turning back. Phyllis and Sharon, desperate and stressed, finally realize that to survive, they must work together more closely than ever. But do they have the time and strength to make the right decision while their captor is watching their every move? Can they escape this trap before he makes his move and brings his game to a close? New love and the mystery behind Tracy, Alan, and the suspicious story in the world of the young and the restless. Things are never as simple as they seem. Complicated relationships, heart-wrenching decisions, and the secrets behind romantic moments are always the elements that create the irresistible appeal of this show. And while things between other characters are developing in unpredictable directions, the relationship between Tracy and Alan Loran brings emotional surprises and tension, especially when Tracy's life suddenly takes a questionable turn. Tracy and Alan Loran, a new relationship, an uncertain love. Tracy, who has experienced many ups and downs in her love life, is now at an important crossroads. She never expected that, amidst the worries of life and work, she would find love again, and it was none other than Alan Loran. Their relationship had grown from a natural connection, a friendship that gradually turned into love. However, these feelings came at a very unexpected time. Tracy never expected that she would fall in love with a man like Alan, and even less that she would feel as if he was the man she could spend the rest of her life with. Tracy admitted to herself that her feelings for Alan were not a fleeting relationship. She felt a deep connection with him, a trust, and the sweet moments they shared. Tracy felt that this could be the romance she had always dreamed of, and could be the only man she would ever want to marry. However, she also knows that these things are not simple, and there are many factors other than the heart that can influence this important decision. Dinner night with Jack and Diane Jenkins. A hint from Alan. On a normal evening, Tracy and Alan sat down to dinner with Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins, longtime family friends. What seemed like a simple meeting turned out to be an important milestone in Tracy and Alan's relationship. During the meal, everything seemed to be going on like a social conversation, but suddenly, Alan made a suggestion that no one expected. While the conversation was going on, Alan suddenly mentioned something he had been thinking about for a long time: a proposal. He gently but also implicitly suggested that if he felt Tracy would agree, he would not hesitate to propose to her. Alan's words were not just a declaration of affection, but also an affirmation that he was serious about the relationship and wanted to take it to the next level. Tracy, who had always been a calm and rational woman, couldn't help but feel confused by this suggestion. She had thought about it for a long time, but only when she heard it from Alan's mouth did she truly realize that she was ready. Her feelings for Alan were so deep that she felt that she could spend the rest of her life with him. And although she didn't answer directly right away, in Tracy's heart, the answer was there. She might not say it right away, but she was ready for a new chapter in her life. Tracy's confession: she was ready. As Alan continued to talk about the seriousness of their relationship, Tracy couldn't help but admit that she also felt that she was ready for the next step. After dinner, when she and Alan are alone, Tracy decides to confess her true feelings. She admits that, although it may seem quick, she has thought it through and feels that Alan is the man she wants to be with. She is ready for a proposal and a future with him. But as she admits her feelings, she also realizes that this romance is taking place at a strange time. The relationship between Tracy and Alan is not yet fully accepted by everyone around her, and the surprises coming from all sides only make her feelings more complicated. Tracy will have to face many challenges, not only in her relationship but also in her decisions about her family, work, and career. Although the relationship between Tracy and Alan is on the rise and progressing well, the timing of this blossoming is questionable. As Tracy is faced with an important decision about love, events beyond her control begin to occur. While Tracy and Alan enjoy sweet moments, her concerns grow as mysteries begin to appear around them. A suspicious event occurs while the kidnapper of Sharon and Phyllis continues to plot his experiment plan. The coincidence between the developments in Tracy's personal life and the events happening around her makes her question: is she being too subjective and trusting in this relationship, or is there a danger that threatens everything she has built? While Tracy and Alan's relationship may have a happy and satisfying ending, it's still too early to tell what will happen. Tracy is facing concerns about the timing and situation in which this love is taking place. Can she continue to maintain this relationship when dangers are threatening her life? Or will this love help her overcome all challenges and find true happiness? It is certain that in the next episodes of The Young and the Restless, the relationship between Tracy and Alan will continue to develop and make important decisions, not only about love but also about the surrounding events, bringing their story to unexpected turns. Every detail is meticulously built, highlighting the complexity of relationships and the mysteries behind each important decision of the characters. Tracy and Alan Lawrence relationship is going strong, but behind the sweet romance lies secrets and dangers. Can Tracy find true love with Alan, or will the truth about Alan, or perhaps Martin, his twin brother, turn everything upside down? Follow the development of tension and unexpected plot twists surrounding this relationship. Tracy and Alan, love blooms in an unexpected time. Tracy has experienced love failures before, and when her relationship with Alan Laurent begins to blossom, she can't believe her eyes. From social gatherings, the two gradually connect, creating a real feeling. But Tracy realizes that this love is not as simple as she thought. She has fallen so deeply in love with Alan that she believes he is the man she can spend the rest of her life with. Although questions still linger in Tracy's mind about the mysteries surrounding Alan, she cannot deny the intense feelings he brings. However, Tracy cannot help but realize that the timing of her entering this relationship is very suspicious. Her relationship with Alan is getting stronger, but it happens when things are more complicated than ever. However, Tracy still chooses to believe in love and in Alan, hoping that this will be a new chapter in her life. Dinner with Jack and Diane Jenkins. A hint from Alan. One evening, Tracy and Alan invite Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins to dinner. The meeting was supposed to be an intimate reunion, but during the meal, Alan suddenly hints at proposing to Tracy. He does not say it directly, but the hint in his words makes everyone pay attention. Alan confides that if he thinks Tracy will agree, he will propose to her. Tracy heard that suggestion and couldn't help but feel surprised, but also felt a warmth in her heart. At that moment, she didn't know how to respond, but in her heart, the answer was clear. She was ready. But was this the beginning of a beautiful love story or a trap being set? Tracy confesses she's ready for a proposal when they were alone. After the evening with Jack and Diane, Tracy and Alan had a frank conversation. Tracy couldn't hold back her feelings anymore and admitted that she was ready for a proposal. The love she had for Alan was not just a passing feeling, but a long-term decision, a future that she wanted to share with him. However, in that moment, Tracy couldn't help but feel uneasy in her heart. Would this love really last, or was she entering a relationship full of mysteries that she didn't fully understand? Questions begin to arise in her mind about what Alan might be hiding. Alan or Martin? The secret behind Tracy's relationship. Just when Tracy thought everything was going smoothly, a shadow begins to hover over her life. Alan, the man she trusted, may not be who he claims to be. Signs are becoming increasingly clear that Alan may actually be Martin, his twin brother, a sociopath. The similarities between Alan and Martin make Tracy even more confused. Is Alan really the one she loves, or is Martin pretending to be him to continue the game he played in the past? This question not only leaves Tracy confused, but also raises doubts about Alan's past. Especially when remembering that Martin used to work in the field of sham therapy. Can Alan's actions and words really be trusted? Tracy begins to feel like she's being drawn into a dangerous game she can't quite see. As Tracy and Alan's romance blossoms, unexpected events begin to unfold, putting everything on edge. Is Alan really the perfect man Tracy thinks he is, or is he just part of Martin's plan to take over her life? As Sharon and Phyllis's kidnappers continue to play their horrible games, a connection becomes increasingly apparent between the events that unfold. While Tracy and Alan begin to discuss their future, their lives are threatened by secrets from the past that continue to surface. The trap Tracy may fall into is not a simple love trap, but one that Martin may have been preparing for all along. As Tracy begins to realize that things are not as simple as she thought, she is faced with the painful truth that her love and trust may not have worked out as well as she had hoped. The ending she was hoping for may not come, as secrets are slowly revealed, and Sharon and Phyllis's kidnapper continues to sow fear and anxiety. Tracy and Alan's relationship may end in a way no one expected, and while Tracy struggles with questions about Alan, Sharon and Phyllis will face increasingly chaotic situations. Will Tracy be able to escape the trap set by Alan or Martin, or will she be drawn into a quagmire she cannot escape? It is certain that Tracy and Alan's love story, as well as the events surrounding it, will continue to keep viewers glued to their screens. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest news.